This is your First Alert Weather Breakdown, a deep dive into how weather works with meteorologist Evan Thomason.
Hey, welcome on to the First Alert Weather Breakdown. Sorry, I forgot to unmute myself there for a second. Hey, I'm meteorologist Evan Thomason. It is Thursday. Welcome in to First Alert Weather Breakdown, weather podcast here with KSLA News 12. Now, a little finicky here for today. First of all, again, we are starting at 10:34. I'm so sorry. A little bit of some technical stuff going on behind the scenes. We're kind of in the process of basically changing around some things, what we see on our podcast desk here. So it's taken a little bit of technical issues to move house, essentially, in for the Arcotech. So you're watching us definitely on our YouTube stream. That's going fine as normal. Hello, YouTube. Good to see you guys. Meanwhile, we are actually on our breaking news. We are on a different live stream than usual. We're usually on our main live stream. Instead, we're on our breaking news live stream. Mainly just because that's the only spot where we could go. Unfortunately, we've lost again, technical issues a little bit with our live news track. So I know we just pushed out a app notification for this live stream that, hey, if you found me, you found me. But, which is good news for you. But if you know other people who are struggling to still get to me, essentially the app push that was just was sent out to the main live stream, which I am not currently on, again, due to technical issues. But we're at least on. We're at least giving you information still here for your Thursday. Let's get into it. So here for the rundown, here for the day, two big things to go over. First, the actual forecast. First and foremost, again, we go over it thoroughly on your First Alert Weather Breakdown. The chance of snow in the Arcotech. Yes, you heard that correctly. A chance of snow in the Arcotech. It is as slim as a chance as you can get. But do you believe in miracles? If you do, or want to hope upon a star, maybe do whatever you got to do to help in some snow come in here, you might want to do that. The point is, we really don't see there shouldn't be snow coming with the system, but we'll see, and we'll keep you first alert with the latest details on that. Meanwhile, we do have a Met Chat today. You get to meet our newest meteorologist, Jake Lambright. Me, CJ, and Matt collectively all ask Jake questions just to get to help you get to know him better, what he's like behind the scenes, how he's enthusiastic to be on the team, all that more coming up in this Met Chat here for the day today. So, hey, great news for you. It's great to be on here. I'm looking. We have a little iPad on the side. I can now confirm that I'm on the stream now because I'm watching myself on the stream over to the right. Good. So we're on the YouTube stream, and again, we're on the breaking news stream, which is good for you on this Thursday. Let's get into the full forecast here for you. All right. So I still got some things to, man, I forgot to do one more thing here for you. Just give me a second. Boom. Beautiful. Live look into Texarkana here for you. It is, again, a beautiful Thursday. Nothing but blue skies and some sunshine wherever you go around the region here for you. That's tremendous. That's also being found out and across Shreveport and Bossier here at this hour. That's going to continue on here for at least tomorrow, too, before starting to get maybe, again, the tiniest chance of snow flurries again here for your Saturday. Now, this kind of masks what the big issue here is here for the day today, which is cold temperatures. I wouldn't even call it an issue. I would just call it a change. Biggest change here for the day today is the cold temperatures in the Arcotech here for you on this Thursday. Today is the coldest day of the work week. We'll get to those current temps in just a moment. Meanwhile, tomorrow, much warmer for one brief day. And then we get into the weekend here for both Saturday and Sunday, and it's going to be much colder back and around the region here for you with mostly dry conditions. Right now, at 10:30, temperatures are struggling to warm up. They are warming up at least a little bit, but we're still in the lower 40s. A few spots are even in some 30s. Center into Queens still in the 30s at this hour. You get the point. It is still chilly sweater weather, certainly, here now. And it's going to warm up more than this because we still got more of the afternoon ahead for us, but it's still not by that much in for the day today. So let's get you caught up on our next weather maker here around the Arcotech here for you. It is our next cold blast blasting into the region here for you across this weekend. Yes, this is a separate cold front, completely separate from the one that just hit us yesterday. And essentially that's going to get us from the warm Friday back in store into the cold temperatures here once we get into the weekend. So what it is definitely giving us is much colder temperatures. What it is maybe giving us just a little bit, is some few snow flurries. Now, to be fair, when we watched the weather models from yesterday in store for the weekend, it was really showing us absolutely nothing. But now back in here to the day today, and there's just one or two weather model outliers that are still trying to hold maybe the faintest hope of us getting, again, some snow flurries in here in for Saturday. So yes, this cold front could do that. Let's get the easy part of the forecast done, in my mind, which is always the temperatures, especially with this forecast, because, again, one thing we are definitely getting is cold temperatures. That is happening. Again, the whole snow flurry thing, that's a big, big, big if. All right, anyways, temperatures, 53 today, cold, out and around. Then tomorrow, high of 66 degrees. Believe it or not, tomorrow, some of you might even touch 70 for the afternoon hours. One brief, very warm day before returning right back to cold temperatures. Highs only in the upper 40s, lower 50s. Yes, only in the upper 40s, lower 50s there for your day on Saturday. Very chilly air in for the region here for you. So here it is coming across not only the Arklatex, but several areas around us. This is a huge marker of cold blast air coming in for you. Again, most areas struggling to reach 50 degrees there for your Saturday before those wind chill values are going to plummet, especially in for Sunday morning. Sunday morning going to be colder than that of Friday and Saturday morning here for you, or feels like temperatures could be down again in the 20s, similar to what you had out the door this morning. Again, that's the commute going to church, so make sure you bundle up on that drive showing up to church there early Sunday morning. All right, so here's their full radar satellite picture giving you the full rundown of what we've got cruising out and around the region here for you. Again, cold air, it's on top of us now. As I just mentioned, again, temperatures only in the lower 50s out now. This is all behind the cold front, which is now along the East Coast. That's the first cold front that just hit us yesterday. But we have another one, a completely separate one, hitting us here across the Midwest here for the weekend. This is going to come down from the northwest into the southeast. That's where all the wind is going. So these cold fronts are coming like a freight train, one after another now, at least into the middle of the weekend, to reinforce colder air back in the Arklatex here for you, and maybe give us just the slimmest chance of some precipitation. If you look along the cold front, there's not really too much precipitation. There's a little bit of cloud cover around. At least has some moisture with it, but overall this is a weak system when it comes to moisture along with the system. So for now, again, you're seeing nothing but beautiful blue skies and sunshine. And essentially, that's what this cold front's going to be fighting. It's a lot of dry air infiltrated throughout the Arklatex. It's getting us cold, but it's going to limit what we're trying to get out of our future track in terms of anything precipitation-wise, even when it comes to, yes, the faintest chance of snow. Here on your future track, here it is through Thursday and Friday. Everything is nice through Saturday. If it is going to happen, it's going to happen on Saturday. Here it is in the morning hours. It would happen on the northern edge of the region there for you. And then it would roll somewhere into Saturday night. Saturday evening and Saturday night, that's when you're watching out for the chance of a snow flurry then in for the rest of the region. Yes, it could happen technically anywhere. It is the faintest chance of snow happening anywhere around the Arklatex with this cloud cover. So essentially, what we're trying to get at is most of these future tracks are kind of just like this, where they just show cloud cover, and that's it. Enough moisture to produce the clouds, not enough to make anything fall out of them, though, in through the Arklatex. But guess what? Especially because, again, we are building on the faintest chance of snow. We're going to show you multiple future tracks, multiple, including the one where it is actually showing that snow could technically happen. So here for this Euro future track, in fact, this is our most trusted future track. You see out in Oklahoma and northern Texas, the line of snow out towards there. It's looking a little more likely over there's the point. There's the full round of cloud cover extending from that, though, into the Arklatex. But even in the Arklatex with the Euro, no precipitation comes out of that cloudy system that just rolls throughout the day on Saturday for you. But let's get into the one future track where some people, where we hold on to the faintest chance of, yes, snow. Again, this is one of many future tracks, and it's technically like the only one or two that give us the chance of snow. And the only reason I want to show you this is to show you the time frame of where the snow would happen if it were to occur in the Arklatex. Again, that's a big if. So check this out. 11 a.m. chance for some flurries across the northern end of the region. Then you get into Saturday evening and Saturday night. Briefest chance of some just brief little flurries showing up around the I-20 corridor. And I'd probably say overall for the southern half of the Arklatex, again, that would happen on Saturday evening and Saturday night around there. There's the time frames if it were to occur at all. Anyways, all right, we got to get this rolling because we got a Met chat still to do. Temperatures in the 50s there for you on Friday night. The Crew of Sobek Ball, that would be nice to go to, especially because Friday's going to be a little bit warmer. But then you get into Saturday midday, and temperatures are only limited into the 50s there for you, even for the end of the parade at 3 p.m. It's going to be a cool one. I'm going to make sure you grab out the jackets for you there. Again, there's the tiniest chance of maybe some snow flurries coming up if it would happen. Again, it would happen on Saturday, but overall mostly dry weekend there for you with just some chilly temperatures for you to bundle up for. That includes the mornings getting down to very cold, very, very cold temperatures. Low of 28 again on Sunday morning. I want to reemphasize that. Overall, though, 6 out of the next 7 days, future high temperatures in the 50s there for you. The one exception is tomorrow with highs in the 60s. And the next major shot of rain, isn't until the middle of next week. Up until that point, it's dry here for the most part. I don't think it's going to happen this weekend. I don't think it is. Look, if your weatherman isn't enthusiastic about it and the snow chance, well, neither should you. Just saying. I speak truth rather than being hopeful for kinds of wintry precip, essentially. All right, we can not roll a commercial break at all during this podcast. I forgot to mention that. So we're just going to roll straight into your Met chat. Again, we're introducing Jake Lambright to you, our nearest meteorologist. He's about 2 weeks on the job. We'll give you kind of the details and the background as to what he's about and who he is. Up right now. Have fun. Hey, welcome on to the First Look with a Breakdown. Again, I'm meteorologist Evan Thomason here in, first of all, it's great to be back on the Met Chat with me, meteorologist Evan Thomason, meteorologist CJ Cartledge in his penthouse. Just kidding. And also Chief Meteorologist Matt Jones, as usual. And we have a fourth person for the first time in a while. It is Jake Lambright. First of all, welcome on to the team, my man. It's great to have you. I know all of us have kind of had different posts on our social media, like welcoming you in, and it's been a great time having you. Especially now that the dust is settled. When you first came in, it was a little bit of a scheduling. We kind of put you into the swing of things here, and I wasn't even able to meet you until about a week after you started. But I'm glad all four of us are together kind of in one place. And so, first of all, just for me, myself, it's just great to have you on. And I know it's been 2 weeks, right, since you started?
It has. 2 weeks tomorrow marks my first day.
Wow. Can't believe that.
Time's flying.
Time's
No,
flying,
we're happy.
Matt?
We're happy to have you, though. We're very excited.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
Right,
you. I'm excited to be on the team and excited to be here in the Arklatex.
Right at the start of the new year here for you. So we're just going to take today's Met Chat, for those of you just joining us, to basically just introduce Jake here for you. Get some behind-the-scenes info for you, just what he saw bringing to the team, what he's about, what his background, everything and anything you can know about Jake. And we have me, CJ, and Matt kind of just taking turns asking questions just to get to know you. So you mentioned, I'll start first. You mentioned your roots and to get back to the Arklatex. So I personally know that you're from here, but for those of your viewers that don't know, you have spent your roots, your childhood here in the Arklatex. Where specifically, exactly, and kind of talk to me through your childhood around here.
I was born and raised in the Arklatex in Marshall, just down the road. So excited to be back closer to my family there, spend more time with them. I've been interested in weather since I was little, and I've always lived in Marshall. So, of course, the Arklatex deals with all types of weather. We see snow once every blue moon. We've got, of course, severe storms that roll through, and both sides of the extremes, extreme cold, extreme heat. Now, we'll say on the cold side, not like it is up in Minnesota, for example, where we get into the negatives much, thankfully. But again, we kind of have a little bit of a variety with everything when it comes to different types of extreme weather. So it keeps us on our toes as meteorologists, but it also keeps things fascinating for sure.
Amazing. Anybody else? One of y'all, CJ, Matt, y'all have a question?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess I'll jump in. I'll ask the question that I think everyone wants to know, which, what got you interested in weather? Why do you like doing this?
I don't remember what got me interested in weather, to be completely honest with you, but the reason that I stuck with weather over the years is severe weather is kind of the reason that I'm in the field. I don't like the destruction that it causes, of course. Really don't like it when anybody loses their life from severe weather, but the reality is, especially here in the Arklatex, we have severe weather. And when we do have it, I enjoy keeping tabs on it, tracking it, and keeping those in the path safe.
So you said you've been interested in weather, though. I mean, you can't pinpoint exactly what got you, but pretty much as far back as you can remember, you've been interested in this.
Yes, as far back as I remember. I mean, I remember being little and watching the Weather Channel. Always kind of had that interest for weather.
I feel like that's the case with a lot of us. Like, I remember back in the day, in order to punish me if I did something bad as a little kid, instead of taking away like the cartoons or the video games, my mom would take away the Weather Channel.
Oh.
So yeah,
That's a good
That's
one.
cool. Yeah, I did have a couple questions for you, Jake. Tell the audience where you went to school at, and talk about the different stations you may have visited before us here.
That's a great question. So I started my career in Monroe. I went to school at ULM, or the University of Louisiana at Monroe. For those of you that have been in Louisiana for a while, some of you may remember it as Northeastern University. That's where I got my Bachelor's of Science in Meteorology, started in 2021. And then my second semester and beyond, I started interning at our sister station, KNOE. I started off behind the ropes, and then after a couple months of learning things and kind of getting a better understanding of how local news works, I was able to start on the air and then continued doing that for about 2.5 years before I graduated and transferred to our sister station in Alexandria, where I spent about 18 months to 2 years there. Very active weather during my time there. We had some significant severe weather events, some significant cold, and the historic snow across our southern parishes that happened last January. Really, for us in Alexandria, we were talking about this as a team recently, kind of got that Goldilocks amount, 2 to 3 inches of snow. It all melted off the roads and nothing was slick. So I was able to go home that night, which was nice. But of course, I did get to absorb and take in just the beautiful sight and rare sight of the snow that we saw that day. But fast forward to the end of last year, I wrapped up my time at KALB and of course started the new year here at KSLA.
That's fantastic, man.
Awesome. Cool, man.
Yeah. So all your roots are obviously around here, and to be able to also stay a little, not just close to, it seems like all your pinpoints of where you've moved around have just been close to one another. Monroe, Marshall to Monroe to Alexandria, back over to Shreveport, just all kind of well huddled in one like big circle, close together within just a few hour drive of one another. My next question kind of involved is something that I even asked you today, actually, in for Wednesday. It's the big argument I feel like between some people, even in my Facebook comments: cold weather or hot weather. Which one are you taking? Which one are you leaving out the door to watch?
I am definitely taking hot weather. I will
I
take
knew it.
90 degrees any day over 20 degrees. Sometimes, and sometimes of course, I do mean what I say. It is January. I would rather it be 70 degrees, but sometimes it is nice to get back a little closer to average there briefly. I love some good pool weather, but of course, we don't get that in January. So as long as it's not too cold, taking Jules outside, I'm usually good. And I do like to spend time outdoors, go walk or run and just be outside in nature when I can. So again, I like a reasonable temperature range, but if I had to pick between hot and cold, I'm taking hot every day.
I guess along those lines, you kind of just touched on it, but what do you like doing outside of, and I know for a lot of us, weather's kind of like we live and breathe it, but what are your hobbies, or what are some other things you like to do outside of all this? I mean, maybe you like to go to different restaurants or maybe go travel. I mean, what do you like?
I need to actually try a lot of places in Shreveport. Growing up, my family and I would come here a lot, but it's amazing how much of Shreveport-Bossier I haven't explored yet. So I'm really excited to do that. As far as kind of hobbies that I do, of course, I love to get outside, get some fresh air. And I do have a drone. I like flying that as well. That gets me outside a little bit more too, just getting it out, flying around, seeing the different sites from a different perspective across the Arklatex, always a great thing. And another one of my big hobbies is technology. I like our iPhones or stuff. Sometimes I'll take a broken phone and fix the screen on it, things like that. And I also like learning new software as well. And a lot of that too, as all of y'all know, we have to be pretty tech savvy in our job. So a lot of those skills can kind of translate and work hand in hand. So I do also like that aspect of the job, is that it kind of ties in with some of my hobbies outside of work as well.
That's
Yeah,
really
we already
cool.
talked.
pretty
Yeah,
cool.
Jake and I already talked about how I'm not the most computer savvy, so I'm going to be learning. I'm going to be learning a lot from Jake. I'm really excited because I got a lot to learn as far as that kind of stuff for sure.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
was,
that's
I
really
was gonna
cool.
say as well, kind of leading into CJ, whatever you want to say. I just want to add before I toss to CJ. I think CJ will be your best friend, because I know you were starting to learn about drones yourself, right, CJ?
Yeah, I
Yep.
I recently took the test to get drone certified in June of 2025, so June of last year. And I hear that Jake has had his certification much longer than I have. When was when did you get your license, Jake?
I got my license back in September of 2023.
hmm So you've been
So I've
flying
had
for
it.
quite a while.
I have been. I got my license back a couple years ago, and I thought about getting it. And it was toward the end of the summer, right before school started. And they recommend, you take an hour or two for like 2 weeks, and you can get through the course. I just sat down one weekend and told myself, I'm going to get through it. I'm going to get it done. Um, but I mean, as CJ knows, we can also kind of fly drones recreationally too. So if I want to go out and as long as the airspace allows it, just want to fly my drone around for fun, kind of get a look at the views. I don't have to be licensed for that. So far, I haven't done a lot with my commercial license, but I'm looking forward to doing more with it here in the months and years to come.
hmm
Awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool. It's gonna be kind of hard to go to certain places because of three different airports, not one, not two, but three different airports in Shreveport, Bossier. But we'll make it work. We'll make it work for sure.
Absolutely.
That's really cool. I have one final question for you, and then if any final questions are after CJ and Matt, you can go after me. But anyways, last thing I wanted to get to is kind of back to a little bit towards your roots, especially when you started back into broadcast TV itself. You said your first station that you kind of got the handle of everything. It kind of tails back to KNNOE, which is our own sister station over in Monroe, Louisiana, just a little drive down the road east of here. What's one of the biggest things you learned, kind of going from learning all the math and science of everything to actually putting that into practice in your actual work and what you do from day to day? What's the biggest thing that you were like, oh my goodness, wow, I didn't realize this was going to happen at a news station or broadcast TV? What was kind of the I don't know, biggest surprise or biggest lessons going into this field?
There are definitely a lot of lessons. For me personally, of course, going through school, you learn a lot about meteorology. You get a lot into the technical stuff that's really exciting, really fascinating. Um, and having to learn how to be a better communicator. I can't go on air, of course, to talk about really complex topics, but finding a way to break it down where you're giving the viewers a little bit more and explaining the why something happens, but not explaining it necessarily in textbook terms. That was a big adjustment. But the broadcast business is fascinating. It's tough to say what the single biggest thing I learned in being in the news industry is. Um, I don't remember a lot of what I may have thought or assumed, what many other people who've never worked in the news industry may assume before you actually get into it, because it's been a minute. But there's a lot that I've learned, and I was very fortunate to learn from some great meteorologists. One of them, Sheena Martin, she's still in the area, not doing broadcast as much anymore. And then another one, Lucy Dahl, both of those meteorologists. I worked with a lot of great meteorologists, but Lucy and Sheena worked with me a lot from the start and helped get me to where I am today.
That's really cool. CJ and
hmm
Matt, y'all got anything else?
I don't have any more questions, man. Welcome to the
I was going to
team.
ask. Oh, I was going to ask, and if you can't answer it, this is fine. But is there one, since you've been in broadcast, is there one particular event, like tornado outbreak or winter event, or is there one specific event that kind of stands out at you so far?
There are two or three big ones that stand out to me since I've started my career. One of them was back, I say that it might be enough to put on one hand, but here recently we had the anniversaries of both the Caldwell Parish tornado that happened in Northeast Louisiana and the one that happened in Union Parish. They were both 2 weeks apart. I believe one was an EF2, one was an EF3, and the EF3 tornado, I think, was the Union Parish one. I was on the ground after that tornado had hit within 45 minutes. And that was the first time I'd really seen tornado damage that soon after it happened and seen that much. And it was very sad to see. But even 30 to 45 minutes after that tornado struck, what stood out to me, the thing I love about the Arklatex and the Arklatex is there were already a ton of cars out there, and I was surprised, but everybody was helping, whether it was getting people out that may have been kind of trapped a little bit by debris or clearing things out of the road. Everybody was helping and coming together as a community to make sure that um, that they could start that rebuilding process and the recovery process even that early in the middle of the night. We had a couple severe weather events, major ones in Alexandria that produced some confirmed tornadoes. One stands out to me. It was my 4th day on the job in Alexandria. We had a nasty MCS come through, kind of a line of storms that brought 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts confirmed by ASOS sites and several confirmed tornadoes. And then the last kind of rounds of severe weather that really stood out to me was last December. On the 26th of December, the day after Christmas, we had a couple of confirmed tornadoes. Then the Weather Channel was in the area. I actually got to meet one of their storm chasers the day after that. And then the following day, so the 28th, we had a moderate risk for severe weather. So that level 4 out of 5, which is pretty rare, and saw more severe weather, a couple tornadoes out of that event as well.
All right. Very interesting.
I do remember working those days too, and I know exactly what you're talking about. Last year on those days, I believe we had a couple of tornado warnings here in the Arklatex, but y'all had a lot more down there in Alexandria. So I'm glad y'all are safe, and I bet that was a thrill to forecast for.
Yes, it was definitely a wild event, and that Saturday event, actually, I remember 8 a.m. or 7:30, 8 a.m. we were already starting strong with a couple tornado warnings, and got a little break, and then round 2 came a little bit later on in the afternoon.
Man, that's pretty wild. All right.
I guess I just want to kind of summarize and kind of brag on you a little bit, Jake. Jake brings a lot of experience to the team. He's awesome when it comes to tornado coverage. I've watched lots of your coverage, so we're in good hands here in the Arklatex. And you're awesome when it comes to social media, and you're like, great. So we're excited to have you on the team, and Arklatex is happy to have you.
Thank you. I'm excited to be on the team and look forward to learning a lot from y'all as well.
It's a great learning experience from that by everybody. But just one last note for me before I end this off is just whenever we can not be able to just teach you, but when you can be able to teach us some new things, that's really what makes everything a team effort here at KSLA News 12. And as I said, we have a great team all around. Fantastic. I just can't wait to – it's not just working with you guys from day to day or being with you in person whenever tornado coverage hits around, but just even when you come into work, just to be able to almost give you a high five on the way out when my shift is over, that kind of a thing. Just, I don't know, helps the day goes by and helps us really cover and work as a team for the Arklatex. So that's really cool. All right, anyways, thank you all for joining us on this Met Chat. I really appreciate it. And hey, we'll have so much more coverage on stuff like this throughout the entire year. We got to get through winter. It's all the couple months surrounding cold temperatures, which I know most of you are not a fan of anyways. And then we'll get into severe weather soon in the next few months. So we'll have more stuff on that on a Met Chat probably coming up. Anyways, have a great rest of your day. Thank you very much for joining us on this Met Chat, and we will talk to you on the next one. Send it to me back at the desk. See you later.
See ya.
Hey, welcome back. Thank you very much for joining us on this Met Chat and the First Alert Weather Breakdown period. Again, I'm First Alert Meteorologist Evan Thomason here in the podcast center. I'll be back on same time, same place tomorrow to wrap up your work week on Friday. We'll go over your thorough weekend forecast for you then. Yes, including that little tiniest hope of snow flurries on the way for Saturday, if it would happen. I don't think it's going to happen, though, but we'll see. Anyways, thanks not only to the whole thanks, yes, to all the meteorologists who joined me yesterday on the recording, but thanks most importantly for Jake to joining us on the First Alert Weather Breakdown. Really appreciate him, his hard work, and he's just going to continue to motivate each and every one of us on the weather team daily and really make it a huge team effort to keep you guys always first alert on the latest weather information for anything in the Arklatex. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow, 10:30. Be there, be square. Most importantly, stay weather aware. See ya.